Where does this blood trail lead? "29 Pretty Orchard Street. This is it. What's in there for me?" There's been a fight here. This window was shattered with violent force. Someone's been pulled through it and dragged through the street. Who could have done that?
Go back home, idiot! Did you? There's one of them! Watch yourselves!
To let her expire and be found here.
You're surprising. Occasionally, you may... I order you! We will crush murder faster!
The marks on this woman's neck were made by the fangs of a vampire. Only a golden watch in her pockets. Her shoes and clothes are quite worn out. This is the very flower my mother tossed on Mary's coffin. Someone is targeting my family.
I see you.
Right then. It's a sick game. But given no choice in the matter, I might as well win it.
Jonathan.
What was that? I won't let you escape. You're very fast, but I'll catch you. They've all been butchered. I can still sense a presence.
You! What have you done?
Vicar Larrabee, what happened?
Demon! Hell Scourge! Son of perdition!
Vicar! Jonathan's no demon. He's just a soul. Returned from the dead. Like your Christ, Vicar.
Mary, is it really you?
Oh, it's me, all right. Precious brother.
What is Mother doing here?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All smiling, all dead. Thanks to the good Dr. Reed.
Mary.
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner. The entertainer, the star of our show.
I'm sorry. Let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Of course. You can speak.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband, killed in France. My child, carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital. Cemetery to cemetery. Grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were. In front of me. On a dark pier.
The hunger had taken me.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again, as you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary. I thought I had murdered you. I tried to end myself. We've been through the same horror.
We are a disease, Jonathan. A sickness that corrupts all it touches. All we kiss, and all we kill. Look at me. Admire your ilk.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies will not suffice. I demand reparation. I want a miracle. Are you a miracle worker, Dr. Reed? No? I'll show you mine then. The family Reed, reunited and complete, living forever in a red sea of eternal love. Time to go, Mother. Say hello to my son for
Mary,
me.
wait. I have made friends with vital knowledge. Vampires. We are not alone, Mary. With time, we can learn to live almost as we lived before.
How long?
What?
How long will this masquerade continue? I've been watching you. All these nights in Whitechapel, pretending you're still a doctor. You believe you're just fighting a disease. But it's you, the disease. Jonathan, you!
I'm a scientist. I'll find a solution. Let our mother go, please.
You're always the one to sway me to reason, Jonathan. But before, your motivations were always pure. Now you're tainted.
Let her go! She has no part to play in this.
Very well. Have you heard our good doctor? You can go home, Mother. Go home and rest in peace.
Yes, I'll go home and rest.
It's so easy to make them obey or forget. Puppets for our pleasure. I've seen you have your fun.
You are mad.
So that's what I am, Doctor. Mad. I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing these voices in my head. One in particular. That of my dead brother. This is the reason I must kill you. Not for your betrayal, not for our poisonous kiss, not even for the lies you tell yourself. No, it's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my ear.
Mary. No, don't!
Time to die, brother. And this time for good. Assassin! What have you done? You left me to rot in this grave! You've spared the precious Nurse Crane, but not your own Mary. Rest in peace, Nat. You give me your blood, priest. My final thoughts are just to die for. Kiss me again, sweet brother. Abomination! Come to me, Jonathan. Kinslayer! Rest in peace. You've killed me, brother! What have you done? Because you spared Sean Hampton, don't expect the same mercy from me!
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
You left me to rot in this grave! You've killed me, come to me. Assassin! What have you done? You've spared the precious Nurse Crane, but not your own Mary. Give me your blood, priest. My final thoughts are just to die for. Rest in peace, monster. Kiss me again, sweet brother. Assassin! What have you done? Abomination! You left me to rot in this grave! Come to me, Jonathan.
This is despicable.
In the name of Christ!
I have this
thirst for blood.
Abomination! Come to me, Jonathan. Rest. You've spared the precious Nurse Crane, but not your own Mary.
I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable.
Slayer! Kiss me again, sweet brother. You've spared the precious Nurse Crane, but not your own Mary. Come to me, Jonathan. Give me your blood, priest. Final thoughts are just to die for. Assassin! What have you done? Abomination! Rest in peace, monster. You left me to rot! Kiss me again, sweet brother. Come to me, Jonathan. Well, brother, it's time to bring this conversation to an end. Forever.
You know I will not play this game.
Calm now, Doctor. Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy?
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea. The sweet little lass with hair of red. I am the Harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
I will find a cure, Mary. I swear it.
Then, at last, I can forgive you.
Blood. As I shed one last red tear for my fallen sister, I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood, via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come. I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Good evening.
I need blood.
I'll leave you. Good evening.
Good evening,
Do you need medical help?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness, Dr. Reed.
Not under my watch, nurse. Take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Evening.
Soldier.
Not really. I think you
As long as you remember.
don't think you can do much of...
Goodbye.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Suffering continues. I wonder why the Goswicks came here in the first place.
Good evening.
And good evening.
Do you need...
You don't have to worry about me.
Good...
I'm quite...
What do you think of Dr. Tippett's opinion of your promotion, Waverley?
Tippett is a good practitioner. Maybe just a little too attached to his prestigious position at the Pembroke Hospital.
Really? That's exactly his diagnosis of you. A little too eager to get promoted? A little bit too proud?
He has the right to think so. But I deserve this promotion. And I don't consider it anything but well earned.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
Thank you for your... Good evening, Mr.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Is there anything...
Really? Why is no one...
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well...
Goodbye.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Do you require...
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No. I don't feel well, actually.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Do you need any...
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
I have...
Good evening, sir.
I will not let you down, my boy.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help. Good evening, Dr. Reed. Of course.
Goody. Do you need well, the proximity of the dead is not the...
Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease.
And that is a good thing. Goodbye.
Hello again, Mr.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. You doing your rounds as usual?
Are you concerned about the living conditions in the city?
Of course I am. I'll be stuck here for as long as Oswald refuses to go to hospital. And, unfortunately, it seems the violence is rising.
What kind of violence?
I believe people have armed themselves and started to attack those that show signs of contagion.
Do you need medical...
Afraid so. In the war, I was always worried about picking up something, getting some infection. Unfortunately, I've got that fear in London now.
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage to armies than any weapon created by man. You were wise to be careful.
You're working at the Pembroke Hospital, aren't you? That's a good enough reason for me and Oswald to go there.
Goodbye, Miss... Good evening, Milk.
Good evening, Doctor. Wise choice.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you need any...
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. But thanks, anyway.
Goodbye. Good evening, Nurse Brett.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require
I will be fine.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Watch yourselves! There's one of them! Die, vermin! Stop it, Lee! He's mine! I'll take it! See them fancy clothes? This one's a tough! Don't you know better? I'll send you back in a fucking grave! Stupid newborn!
Good evening, sir. It's me again.
Leave me alone, I say, whoever you are.
It cannot be safe for a blind man to live here alone. Let me enter, sir. I swear I mean you no harm.
Well, a voice never lies, and yours clearly is the voice of a gentleman. All right, Doctor, come on in. What kind of gentleman pays visits to people at this late hour? Tell me, how do you see the world these days? So what is the name of my nocturnal visitor?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. As I already explained to you, I'm inquiring about the epidemic.
Dr. Reed? The eminent surgeon? My God, I'd never have expected a brilliant physician like you to knock on my door.
You flatter me, sir.
No, sir, I am flattered. I read all your work when I still had my sight. I loved it. I'm Mason Swanborough, by the way.
You seem unwell, sir. Do you need my assistance?
Actually, I feel worse than usual. Can you give me something?
Yes. I can give you a little something that has been proven effective.
Thank you, Doctor.
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
I hear them hissing and scratching at my door every night. The sick made mad by the fever. But these walls are thick, and my lock is solid.
And what else have you learned about me, Mr. Swanborough?
I know you assisted Professor Carell in France, and that you invented a new blood transfusion method based on his work.
Yes. Those were frustrating but exciting days. I loved it.
Yes, the thrill of research and discovery. This is what drives people like us, Dr. Reed. Oh, how I envy you.
Does someone take care of you in this isolated place?
My sister Loretta and I have our daily routine. Every morning and evening she comes by so we can talk and eat. Then she leaves and I stay.
Do you not appreciate your sister's visits?
Loretta is the best and worst thing that happened to me. And I believe she could say the same thing about me.
Where does your sister go?
Well, let's just say she earns enough money for us both.
What's so amusing about that?
I won't hide the truth from you. Loretta sells a fake miracle elixir to the sick people of Whitechapel.
Why does your sister feel so guilty about what happened to you?
Because she knows I'll never forgive what she did to me.
You run an illegal business with someone you hate?
I don't hate my sister. She looks after me, we have a good time. But I'm just not ready to forgive her.
Do you know Braille, Mr. Swanborough?
I'm no expert, but I learned it in my spare time, yes. Why?
I found a strange document entitled Cure for Blindness. It's written in Braille, so I thought perhaps it was yours.
Really? Is that some kind of sick joke? Let me see.
Here it is.
This letter seems authentic. And it actually refers to an experimental cure for blindness. You have piqued my interest, Dr. Reed.
Could it be of any use to you?
No. This page is just a part of a larger diary. I'd be glad if you could find the other pages.
I found another page of the diary, Mr. Swanborough.
This diary is still not complete. The man who wrote it claims he is a member of some scholarly brotherhood called the St. Paul's Stole.
Really? I've heard of them. Very capable scientists. Perhaps the man who wrote this really found a cure.
I would need more pages to figure it out, but it's as promising as it is intriguing.
Goodbye, Mr. Swanborough. I'll leave you now.
Wandering in this part of town at night, you're either brave or a fool. Tell me,
You're feeble.
How do you see the world these days?
Don't you know better? This is my territory!
There's safer places to be than here. Go back home, idiot! Look at it! Die, Bernie! Over there! There's one of them vermin! You're mine, vermin! Leech spotted! Watch out!
dying epidemic.
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away! Whoever you are!
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion. Can you not hear? The famished queen has awoken.
I insist you be quiet!
Son, do you not see? You are the healing balm.
I had to kill Mary.
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to...
Silence! I dismiss you, now!
The land calls for a champion. All and everyone needs you.
Silence! I'm tired of all these puppet shows.
This is not
you again.
Have you heard anything about Sean Hampton's shelter?
It used to be a safe place. I'm not sure that's the case anymore.
Are you worried about the conditions in London?
I've heard rumours about some sort of militia patrolling, killing the sick. The wet boot boys are overrun.
Do you need medical help, sir?
I feel fine, Doctor.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Hello again, Doctor.
Can I...
As long as you...
Just another lost orphan.
Welcome back. Have you got any recent news on Sean Hampton's shelter?
I've not seen him since he came back to the docks. Rumour has it he's converted his flock to some sort of cult. That's unbelievable.
Are you concerned about the sanitary situation?
It may surprise you, but I'm not. I've heard about the men-at-arms and the fights between gangs at night, but that's nothing new.
I wish I shared your optimism.
It's not optimism. Gangs have been fighting in this part of town since before I was born. This war will stop when enough blood has been spilled.
Do you need any help?
I'm all right, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr. Woodbeat. Do you have any recent news on Sean Hampton's shelter?
I read that given enough time, any intention, no matter how good, can rot and sour. If half the things I've heard about this place are true, that theory is soundly proven.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
I never thought I'd live to see the last days of London. Just another thing I was wrong about, I suppose.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
Unfortunately, yes. The spirit is willing, but the flesh, well, you know.
Nobody is immune to disease. There's no need to be ashamed of that.
Well, thank you, Doctor. Now maybe I'll live another day or two.
Goodbye, sir. Good evening, Mrs. Fishburne. May I come in, please?
Of course. Please don't stay too long, sir. What can I do for you?
Do you have any news about Sean Hampton's shelter?
I heard you can't go there anymore unless you share his faith. A bit queer, don't you think?
Aren't you worried about the conditions around here?
Hate everywhere. The city will not sink because of this flu. It's the violence that will finish us all.
Mrs. Fishburne?
I am afraid I am, Doctor. I don't feel well at all.
Then let me give you a prescription.
I thank you for your generosity, sir. It's something this part of town truly needs.
Goodbye. Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr.
Heard anything about Hampton Shelter lately?
I rarely go near there, but rumour has it the place is restricted. Only members chosen by Mr. Hampton are allowed in.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation?
I never really felt safe in this town anyway. Now's the first time that everyone seems to feel the same way as me.
Is anything worrying you right now?
Gunshots. I hear them every night. Who's firing? Who are they shooting at? That's what's scary.
Do you need help?
No, thanks.
So long. I cannot enter.
You know, it would be nice to see each other outside the pub sometime.
This situation won't last forever.
Stop coming in every night.
What have you done? Peaceful, don't you think?
Hard enough to cover the docks by my...
Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Dr. Reed, can I be of any assistance? Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
Have you heard any rumors regarding Hampton Shelter?
I cannot say I've heard anything particularly interesting, but I was too busy hunting evil to pay attention.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
It seems the Guard of Priwen has declared war on vampires. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, though.
Really? I thought you'd be thrilled by this news.
The Guard can be reckless. They rush into a fight without thinking. The citizens of London should not be the collateral victims.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
Actually, I may. In my line of work, I have to stop at any sign of infection.
Treating a vampire hunter's wounds is certainly a first for me.
I'm happy to help you, of course.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. Your support means a lot.
Goodbye. Good evening, young man.
There's no need to...
Have you heard anything recently concerning Sean Hampton's shelter?
I heard he had a scam of his own. A cult or something.
Are you feeling worried about the sanitary situation in London?
This city is falling apart. The disease kills so many people. No one cares about anything or anyone anymore but themselves.
Show me... Good evening, young man.
I don't like asking for help, but I don't want to be one of those poor sods dying in the streets.
There's no shame in asking for help, especially when you are in desperate need of it. Here, take this. You should recover in no time.
Thank you, I suppose.
Goodbye. Good evening, sir. I'm glad to see you safe.
I am not safe. I should never have come back here. My life is in danger. I know it.
You're much safer here than in that contaminated area.
Bullets kill people quicker than diseases and epidemics, Dr. Reed.
Do you have recent news of Sean Hampton's shelter?
No. I try to stay away from shelters and obvious places. Who knows who may be spying and trying to spot me there?
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
Not really. I've spent so many days hiding to escape retaliation from the Wet Boot Boys. Now that there's so much chaos, they might forget about me.
What can you tell me about this district?
The East End Docks only knows one rule. Dog eat dog, and blood calls for blood. The gang will have their revenge on me one way or another.
What can you tell me about the locals?
Most people would say that Sean Hampton and Tom Watts are good men who try to sort things out. But for me, the real boss around there was my best friend, Jack Gillingham.
Jack Gillingham, you say?
Everyone round here knew Jack. He was a rock. A mountain even. He feared nothing.
Your friend Jack has something to do with you fleeing to the contaminated area where I found you. I want to know more.
Jack is dead. That's all you need to know. Dead because of me. So much violence. So much sorrow. All of that because I refused to be insulted again.
No man can predict the exact outcome of his actions. It's the curse we have to live with. We can only gamble and do what we think is best.
Perhaps you're right. The district was doomed before I was born. But I cannot stop myself thinking that Jack died for me.
Why do you say that?
After I killed that gang member, the Wet Boot Boy suspected Jack. And being loyal and all, he did not refute the accusation.
You are not going to spend the rest of your life hiding, Rodney. What are you planning to do?
Honestly, I have no idea. How am I supposed to live while so many have suffered because of me?
Only you can answer that question. But one thing is certain. Since you owe Jack your life, I think it's fair to live it in a way that would make him proud.
That's the kind of thing Jack could have said, Dr. Reed. Thank you for that. I believe you're a good guy too.
The death of your friend has affected you deeply, hasn't it?
Jack Gillingham was the real deal. He believed we could change the world if we were united and focused enough. And he brought out the best in each of us.
You're right. He died to save you. That alone gives me an idea of the kind of man he was.
He was the bravest. And no one dares to say openly that he got killed by those bastards.
The death of your friend has affected you deeply, hasn't it?
Jack Gillingham was the real deal. He believed we could change the world if we were united and focused enough. And he brought out the best in each of us.
The death...
Jack...
The death of your friend...
Jack...
Your friend's plan was audacious, if not reckless. No one stands up by themselves to a gang like the Wet Boot Boys.
How dare you say that? You never met...
Do you need help?
I'm fine, Doctor.
Goodbye. Good evening, Miss Gillingham. May I come in?
Of course, of course. Sir?
Have you heard anything recently concerning Sean Hampton's shelter?
I've never heard that name before, I'm afraid.
Are you worried about...
Too much noise, too much shouting. It keeps me up. Is it really gunfire I'm hearing?
Do you require...
I'm all right. But perhaps you could check upon my son whilst you're here. He must be around here somewhere.
Do you require...
I'm all...
Good.
Unleash!
This one's a top.
We have to stop her!
Die, beast!
We have to stop it!
You! Get back in the grave! All of you blood-eating need killing!
Doesn't like burning, does it?
I'll send you there.
It's locked, all right. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Have you found the answers you were looking for, young Ekon?
There is too much left unanswered. So many...
Get to know us.
Thank...
What on earth happened here? It's locked, all right. I cannot enter.
Good evening, Mr. Grader.
Are you sure nobody followed you here, Dr. Reed?
Do you need help, Mr. Grader?
Death by disease or by bullet? Do I really have to choose?
Well, I have nothing to stop the bullets, but this should make you feel better.
You have a strange sense of humor, Dr. Reed. But thanks anyway.
Goodbye, Mr. This is despicable.
fitting now.
Welcome back to...
Do you need any...
Can't be good for business to see the bartender cough in your beer.
Indeed. It would be a shame to taint the delicate taste.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Reed. My customers and I, we all thank you.
Goodbye,
Never even been to
Perhaps I
India.
should shut the turquoise for a time.
You still working at this hour? That's what I call dedication.
Have you...
Some customers said the sad saint had a vision. Launched himself on a holy crusade. Even Dyson Delaney joined up with them. It's more like a cult, if you ask me.
Were you aware of Tom's past incarceration?
That's the first thing he told me when he offered me the job. He didn't want me hearing about his past from anyone else.
Did it surprise you to find out about it?
Not really. I was already aware of his reputation before I met him. That's why I came to the Turtle in the first place.
Most people would have run away because of that.
Not me. I thought a man like him could give me stability, you know? At least to some degree. And I wasn't mistaken.
Are you...
Of course I am. Everywhere's deserted. Houses, streets all empty. People buying guns. We hear them go off every night. It's bloody frightening.
Do you require medical assistance, Miss Cavendish?
Don't feel so good if you have to know. I knew that keeping the bar open with the epidemic wasn't a good idea.
Take this, it'll help. Perhaps you should think about closing the Turquoise Turtle for a while.
Tom always said we've got to keep the doors open. But thank you, Doctor.
Goodbye, Miss...
Then the gangs, the epidemics.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
Have you got any news about Sean Hampton's shelter?
Rumour has it he started some sort of gang of his own. Soldiers of Christ, something like that.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
The bodies are piling up, but I'm not afraid. I'm still alive, and I intend to stay that way.
Can I...
As long as you...
Good evening.
Hello.
Can I...
As long as you...
Good evening.
Hello.
Can I Perhaps I would.
Thank you. But don't expect me to... No idea who she's dealing with.
You again.
Do you need...
I feel...
Good.
Sorry, sir. No admittance. It's an inch! He's dead! Filthy piece of shit! Murdered her!
share! I'll send you to hell!
Spotted! Watch out! He's dead! Run, stay alive! We found one! Die, beast! He's dead! You're paid for that youngling! Here he is!
Good evening.
Good evening. Wise choice.
Crush the leech, boys! Howdy, monster!
You again?
How is the sanity?
I'm not easily scared, but...
Can I off...
Keep you...
There is a...
All right.
Good evening.
It's
Don't you...
faith give...
No.
Good evening, Doctor.
How are conditions?
I always thought it was my role to reveal what really happens in these forgotten...
And you're not sure?
Emptied coffins. Cannibalism. Walking dead. I'm trying to report the truth about what's going on, but no one believes it anymore.
Do you need a...
Save your time for the people who...
Goodbye, Mr. Duff.
Good evening. And good evening. Do you need... I'll leave... You never... Right then. You never... Right. You never... Do you need... To be honest... I don't quite agree, but I won't argue with you. Please, take this.
Really? How... When there's more people outside at night than during the day, then you've got to start to worry.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
Loretta, why do you feel so guilty about your brother?
I don't expect him to forgive me.
All I can do is make amends for what I did.
By making him a crook and a criminal. What if somebody decides to make him pay for your scam?
Mason is totally capable of defending himself. Just leave us be. We're perfectly fine.
Don't you think he needs to be somewhere he can receive appropriate medical care?
Mason wants to be useful, can you understand that? And chemistry is his passion. And the Swanborough cordial gives him a purpose in life.
I've...
No, please, I don't have your money.
Come on.